inherited my parents' house, but my siblings want it sold. When my mom passed away, I thought the hardest part would be missing her voice. I didn't realize the real silence would come later, the kind that falls when family starts arguing over money. Parents weren't rich. They worked their whole lives for one thing: a small old two-story house with chipped paint, creaky stairs, and a garden my dad always promised to fix. It wasn't much, but it was home. When the will was read, we all sat in the lawyer's office. Me, my sister Julia, and my brother Mark. I expected the house to be split 3 ways, but the lawyer said, "Your mother left the house solely to you." Hair went still. Julia's face hardened, and Mark's eyes went wide. The lawyer explained that Mom wanted me to have it because I'd cared for her during her last year. I didn't know what to say. I didn't help her for a reward. She was my mom. Julia finally said, "So we get nothing?" I tried to explain that Mom's savings were almost gone, but she didn't want to hear it. That night, I sat in the empty living room, surrounded by her things, wondering if I'd just lost my family too. Days later, the calls started. Julia said, "You should sell the house. Split the money. That's fair." Nark chimed in, "You can't afford the taxes anyway." They weren't wrong. I was barely scraping by, but I couldn't imagine selling it. When I said no, Julia accused me of manipulating Mom while she was sick. That one hurt. I hung up. A few weeks later, they showed up together with papers. Julia said, "A developer offered 200 grand. We could each get 66,000. You'd be free." Free from what? I asked. She said, "From this burden." That word stuck in my head all night. Maybe they were right. Maybe I was clinging to the past. But the next morning, while looking through Mom's sewing box, I found a folded note under the lining. It said, "If you're reading this, I'm gone, and you're probably arguing. Don't. This house was built by love, not money. It should belong to the one who kept that love alive when I couldn't." I stared at her handwriting through tears. Then I took a picture and sent it to Julia and Mark. Mark replied 2 days later. She always had a way of getting the last word. Julia never responded. Months passed. The calls stopped. I stayed in the house, fixed the leaks, painted the walls, and planted the garden again. The place started to feel alive. Then one day, box of tools, he said, "Thought you might need help with those windows." He never mentioned the argument again, but I could feel the peace in his silence. Julia still keeps her distance. Every Christmas, she sends a short card signed, "Love, Jules." Maybe that's her way of saying we're okay. The house isn't perfect. The floors still creak and the garden's a mess. But I've learned something. When someone leaves you something out of love, it isn't a prize to divide. It's a story to continue. Lamise, it's still telling hers.